All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 122. We got the Wanderer here, and Big Ern is back in the building after, going on a mini vacation to Kentucky.
Yeah. Welcome back.
There you go. So I guess let's get right to it. So there's been, first off, I want to say rest in peace to Nick Mangold. I saw that over the weekend. That was terrible, and
sad, yeah.
The Jets wound up winning the game for him on Sunday, which was nice. Probably the only win we'll see this year from them anyway. But jumping right into the NBA, big scandal in the NBA with Chauncey Billups and some other players. And so I read an article, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know everything about it, but apparently there's two different things going on there. There's the actual, information cheating, I guess you want to call it, of people sending out information of people that are going to be hurt and not play, or people fake injuries and go out for people to make a buck. And then there's also this poker ring that was happening in Vegas.
I don't know where it was happening, but yeah, that's more from what I'm understanding, the Chauncey Billups part of it, where he was the one organizing or running or whatever. Had to do with the poker games, but I don't know what the hell's going on, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing about this for a long time, because one, it's not just the NBA, it's going to be MLB, it's going to be the NFL, but it's just funny how it's I know we were talking before about it being personal, is it personal against the NBA, because it just coincidentally comes out right at the start of the NBA season.
Literally, yeah.
I mean, because you can't tell me that it's just the NBA, and we're halfway through the football season and nothing came up. But that goes to show you football's king and whatever. But I'm sure we'll be hearing a ton of this stuff. I heard something somewhere, I don't even remember, that this investigation started years ago.
Yeah, it was. I read that too. It was a couple of years ago it started, and the Chauncey Billups aspect of it was the mob was running this poker game out in Vegas, and he was the front runner, or the star attraction to get people with money to come play. And they rigged the games, meaning they had X-ray tables and counters. And all types of shit.
Yeah, and from what I'm understanding as well is that this is probably just a throw-in because it is the NBA as well, and Chauncey Billups, and it is a big name. But this is like the dust on the floor compared to
bottom of the barrel.
The rest of what's going on, because how much could this have actually done? Whereas the other stuff is, you're talking about millions upon millions of dollars. Because the poker, from what I'm understanding with the poker thing, is they were rigging these games, like you were saying, where they would invite a poker pro, and then the other 6-7 people, however many people were in the game, were all in on it, and they would just wipe this guy clean.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah,
That's good. That's
I saw one interview from this guy. I don't know who he was, but apparently he's a poker pro, and I guess he was involved in one of these games. And he said, because poker professionals, that's what they do for a living, and they know when guys know how to play and guys don't know how to play. And this guy was telling the story. He's like, these guys had no idea how to play poker, and they were betting 100 times the big blinds and fucking hitting these ridiculous hands.
Wow.
So they were all, they would invite one big shark in there, and then the rest of them were all in it, and they would wipe the guy clean.
That's wild. That's wild. Well, on that aspect of the investigation, I was reading that they cleaned up about $7 million worth. I guess over the couple of years, that'd be not a lot of money, but that's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And I could only imagine how much
the other side
is, right? Because, and I think the reason why they targeted NBA, I don't know, listen, I don't want to be naive and say I don't know if any other sports are doing it. I'm sure to a lesser degree they are. I feel like the reason why they picked up on the NBA's. The NBA has a lot of guys that like, and it's even happening to our Knicks right now, right? Like Cat Williams supposedly like has like a lingering injury, but he's playing through it. But he almost missed the first game, and you got these maintenance days and stuff like that. So like maybe it was a way for them to get in there because of those kind of things, and see what was going on. Apparently, LeBron James wasn't involved, but he was in a game where one of the guys that he played with like had his co-conspirators bet on that game, and that he was going to be, him or someone else was going to be out of that game early or something like that.
Listen, I mean, whatever. Nowadays, you just don't know what's real, what you're seeing.
Right.
But just this weekend, my son was showing me a video, and it was a legit video. You could tell it was game footage.
Right.
Of a Golden State game where, and I forget who it was, but they were telling the story during the video of the game and the point spread and what was going on, and there was a couple of seconds left, and you saw 3 players on the bench, one of which, who was sitting in the middle of the other 2, was holding his hands on his face, and you can read his lips where he was, and don't quote me because I don't remember the exact words, but basically saying how he got fucked with his bet because, and he's in the fucking game.
Wow, that's wild. That's wild. Oof, that's something else. Then
these guys coming out of the game where because the thing is you can bet on anything, right? So minutes played, and then guys getting pulled out of games for no reason,
and that happens a lot in basketball too. And maybe,
don't tell me in baseball when you can bet on if the first pitch of the game is going to be a ball or a strike that these guys aren't fucking around.
Right. And not only that too, sometimes there's
what's his name, the closer on Cleveland, right?
Yes,
exactly. Like, how is it that came out basically right before baseball season, right?
No, it was during the season.
Or right at the start of it, though. And we haven't heard anything else about that now. And you're telling me that he and the other guy on his team were the only 2 fucking around?
Right. No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. And, this stuff was probably been going on forever, but...
It was illegal.
But, exactly, now that sports wagering is legal, the opportunities... go up. So,
but that's the funny part of it, right? Because you would think you're associating it to now that sports gambling is legal, and that's the reason why this has all happened. But it's those guys who are throwing out the red flags, saying, "Hey, something's going on here," right? Because they're the ones that could get screwed here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure, listen. The people that are fixing these things, they make the money off the sites or whatever, or even, I don't even know, I mean, I'm sure there's still illegal bookies and all that stuff now. Like, I don't know how that works and this kind of thing.
They don't need to, because if you got shit like this going on.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, how does that work for, like, the guy that used to be an illegal bookie? Is he a legal bookie now? And, like, that's the whole thing with the mob now. Like, like, they could do what they please too. Like, all they got to do is get an app or a website, and like, you start screwing with their money and doing these kind of things, that's also another issue, because then you're going to bring in that element of, like, violence, I feel, at some point, which is wild to me.
And what's most crazy, it's funny, as we're talking about it, we're seeing that Rozier and Billups are not getting paid while the FBI is investigating. Rozier's salary is $26.6 million.
Right.
How the fuck are you making $26 million a year and you're involved in this fucking shit?
Right. I was gonna say even that with Chauncey Billups too. So, and he's even worse because he could be a Hall of Famer. He's been in the league 30 years now, probably.
Seemed like such a stand-up guy, like I don't know.
And all for what, a cut of a percentage of the money that they're making on these poker games and or bets, And some of these guys, when I was reading the article, didn't even seem like they were making much. So, this is all greed we're talking about right now.
Yeah, maybe they like to gamble too.
But if you could, with $26 million, you could gamble legit. Like, just don't gamble on your own sport. I think that's like the rule, right? Like, they can't gamble on their own sport for the most part. Because I think that happened with Ohtani, right? Like, ultimately he was let go, but like we all know he was the one gambling, but he was gambling on soccer or something else or whatever like that, which is
And trust me, that's why that's not coming up now, because it's the Dodgers and it's Ohtani, the face of baseball. So of course that can't come up right now,
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's all nonsense.
It's awful. Yeah, not great for the NBA. And I wonder if this is going to lead to more stuff, or they're just going to nip it in the butt right now and just leave it with the NBA.
No, I don't think so.
You think they're going to go the full boat and get more guys?
Oh yeah. I don't think Cash Patel is messing around.
Good for him. Baseball now, before we get to all the football stuff. So I was driving to the doctor's today, and they were over talking how good Ohtani is, right? And then last night, the Blue Jays were down 2-1 after that 18-inning marathon of a game, which I watched, sadly to say, I watched like 70% of it because
what time did that end?
Almost 3 a.m.
Holy crap.
I can safely say I have not watched one pitch of the World Series.
So I didn't until that, because this is going to tie into the stuff that we're watching later on in the show, so I'm not going to talk about that aspect of it, but I went on Netflix and I saw that there was a documentary on who killed the Montreal Expos. So I started that, but then it was subtitle galore and it was like midnight, and I was like, I can't do this right now. It's too late to just read at night. You know me, like I can't watch something.
So what? It's French?
Well, the people in it are speaking French. It goes back and forth, but like I was watching 5 minutes of it, and then I got distracted. I was like, let me see what happened with the Dodgers and Blue Jays. I just want to see the score, And I look and I'm like, they're in the 10th inning? I'm like, oh, let me just flip over this. I can watch this. So I started watching in the top of the 10th.
8 innings later.
And it ate me alive, because not that I like either team. I almost wish like they both,
Yes, I think you mentioned that.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week, right? Implode or something like that, and they just don't have a World Series this year. But I started watching the game, and it was crazy game.
Yeah, well, there was no runs from the 7th inning to the 18th inning.
Yeah, and it's, to me, like going into this World Series, they were talking about like the strength and weaknesses, and both teams had a weakness in the bullpen, and they didn't show it in that game per se, but if you watched the game, right, I don't want to take anything away from their bullpens, but it looked like to me that once the 10th or 11th inning wrapped up and they couldn't like get guys in from like with like base hits, everyone was just trying to hit a home run. And that's why it went 18 innings. Whereas like they walked, I think, Ohtani 4 or 5 times in the extra innings aspect of it.
Yeah.
And if they would have played small ball and just tried to hit, like get a base hit, they probably would have won way before that. And guys were just like, Will Smith got close to a home run. Like I thought when he hit this pitch, it was gone. I guess because it was late and it got colder, it kept the ball barely in the ballpark. Like it was a warning track shot, like right by the wall. Literally, like the guy had his hand on the wall and caught the ball. And then Freeman twice put a charge into him, same kind of thing. One to deep center or whatever. And I knew right after he flied out those 2 times, like, he's going to burn somebody today. And sure as shit, that last at bat, he burned the Blue Jays and he hit that home run. But wow, crazy game that was. And then you fast forward to yesterday's game, and Ohtani's on the mound pitching. He went 6 innings, I think, and gave up 4 runs. And the Blue Jays wind up, give them all the credit in the world, and I hate the Blue Jays right now. I hate both teams because they just don't know how to shut their mouth and play baseball. But give them credit. They came back and won that game convincingly 6-2. And now we have Game 5 tonight, and it's Snell versus Savage going tonight. So that could be another good game with the World Series. Right now, I feel like both teams are evenly matched. I don't know if either one of you guys have looked into any of this at all. Like, besides the other the game 3. I have not, but I've seen enough of the Blue Jays and I saw enough of the Dodgers while I was in the hospital because I had nothing to watch. I watched a lot of the Dodgers and Brewers games, and like the difference is the Dodgers spent all that money, and that's why they're here in the World Series. Like they replace guys for situational things, and the next guy that comes off the bench is almost just as good as the guy they just replaced.
Yeah.
Whereas it's almost like that for the Blue Jays, not to the Dodgers caliber, but the Blue Jays are pesky, where like they just don't give in, right? And we saw that in the Yankee series, which
And of course, Vladimir's been playing out of his pants this postseason.
yeah, 100%. Like to be fair, a lot of them have. Like George Springer's been really good. A lot of key hits from a lot of guys. Like the guy that I think he took over for Bo Bichette because he wasn't playing until this World Series. And even in this World Series, I don't know if he started. I saw him come in late in the game for defense. I don't know if he's been starting, but the guy Clement that beat up on the Yankees with base hit after base hit and whatever, he's been hanging tough in there too. And he's like a career 200 hitter. You know what I mean? So it's been a weird World Series where like guys are just being overly productive, and it's been, if you're a Dodger fan or a Blue Jay fan or you live in Japan, you love this World Series right now. Because this might go the distance.
Yeah. Not that I give two craps.
I do not. Like, trust me when I tell you this. I do not, like I said, I only...
Did they walk Ohtani every time he came up yesterday?
That I don't know. I'm sure they did, though, because after the 18-inning game where he hit 2 doubles and 2 homers, they said they weren't going to pitch to him anymore. They did pitch to him in that game, because I actually saw his at-bats. I want to say he walked 5 times in that game.
Yeah, they said he broke a record. He was on
Base 9
base
times.
9 times.
Yeah, so, but 3 out of those 5 were, like, intentional, like, just go to first base. And I think the other 2 they just pitched him to chase, basically. Like, they gave him nothing even close.
Unintentional, intentional.
Correct. But yeah, I don't think they pitched to him yesterday. Like, they would be foolish. Now, listen, there's this thing on the radios right now, and even our friend Shady was talking about it. He doesn't want to hear anything about Judge being better. I heard the exact opposite a lot the last 2 days, especially today after the way Ohtani pitched in yesterday's game. He wasn't crisp as he was against the Brewers, but I think I want to say the Blue Jays might just be a better hitting team than the Brewers, right? Mm-hmm. More contact or whatever. He let up 4 runs, but the thing I really wanted to talk about and get your opinion on is, for me, and guys made this point already, so kudos to them on the radio, I just happen to agree with them. You look at Ohtani, he might be the overall best baseball player because he could do both things, right?
Right.
But if you look at his stats, he's only had 1 year where he's pitched over 130 innings, which if you're a starting pitcher, you know that's not good. You're almost hurt half the year. So that's really not good. And then you look at his hitting's great, but even still, as of right now, I would take Judge over him for my money anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the way they were comparing it is like, he's not the best at either. Like, you got pitchers that are really better than him, and you got at least a hitter, and you could argue other ones depending on certain years that are better than him as well. So is he really the best in baseball? No, he's just the face of baseball because of what he brings to the table.
Right. And the fact that, he's going to win another MVP, and other than, what was it, 22 when Judge won it, they said he would have won 5 MVPs in a row.
Yeah. And you know what? This MVP thing, too, is another thing, right? You could give it to whoever you want, basically, nowadays, It's not, the voting isn't really crisp either, and, like, maybe the FBI should get involved in that kind of stuff, too. I don't know. But to me, bang for the buck, I'll take Judge hitting over Ohtani's hitting any day of the week. You could keep your stolen bases. I don't care about that. And even this year, he didn't have as many stolen bases as the year before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when he's not pitching, he's what?
DHing,
right?
yeah. Yeah, and that was another thing that people were saying, maybe he pitched bad because that 18 inning game went really late. Well, what's the excuse with the other 8 guys on the field or 9 guys on the field?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they actually played both sides. They were hitting and playing defense the whole time. And to be fair, like I said before, in extra innings, he walked every single time. So basically, he got off the bench, went and took his spot in the batter's box,
and walked to first base.
And I think I might have saw him once or twice run to second. So how much energy did he really exert? Just besides you were up late at night. But everyone else there was up late at night.
Right.
You know? So and you can't tell me you're going to take him out, right? Wanda, you're not going to take that guy out in the beginning, in the middle of the game or in extra innings for the next day because he's your pitcher. It's the World Series. You want to make all this money? You got to show up. And the fact of the matter is, he didn't show up yesterday. He could have put basically the nail in the coffin in the Blue Jays and did not. And now he gave them life. And now they at least get to go back to Toronto and win a game or two, depending on what they need after tonight. And, see what happens. And that might be the turning point in this whole series right now.
Yep.
So as good as he was against the Brewers, and I don't even want to hear this either. Oh, because he had 3 home runs and struck out 10 guys against the Brewers, he's the best in baseball. Because before that game, he had 4 hits out of 39 at-bats in the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, overall, his numbers still aren't, that.
No, it's just his power numbers are good because he had 2 games where he hit 5 home runs and 2 doubles. So in those 2 games alone, he had, 7 hits.
Yeah.
And probably 8 or 9 RBIs. But you take those 2 games away, which I know you can't, and let's keep in mind the fact that baseball is very streaky, right? So, Aaron Judge has done that before where he's been on a tear for a week. These guys are going to do that. Look, to your point, Vladimir Guerrero has been hot the entire playoffs. Him and a couple other guys are willing the Blue Jays to win this World Series. He's on fire. Good ball players are going to be like that.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Well, we'll see.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably not going to watch the rest of these games, but that 18-inning game just caught me at a good moment, and I just watched the game. Other than that, I missed yesterday's game. I'll probably miss tonight's game, and that's it. But I don't know. Do you guys want to talk free agency right now? I don't know if we should. It's still not even time yet, so we're just gonna I think we're just gonna trek along to football right now, and besides the big news of the Jets actually winning a football game, I was super pumped about that. I actually gave up on them. After in the fourth quarter, I think it was Chase Brown scored a second touchdown, and I'm like, oh, they're down by 14. Pack it in. The Jets are losing this game. No big deal, whatever. And then I continued to watch the game, and I'm like, oh wow, they scored a touchdown, and there's still 3 minutes left, and then they scored again, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Who are these guys?
Yeah, I'm like, get out of here. And then I'm like, wait, the Bengals still have 40 seconds to go. Joe Flacco's going to march this guy down the field, march the team down, kick a last-minute field goal, and that's how the Jets are going to lose. They're going to lose by 2, and it's going to be whatever, and same old Jets, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to Flacco or his receivers on that drive. I was watching, I'm like, he didn't throw him well, then they didn't catch him when he did, and they marched a little bit because I think they were on the 20-yard line, and they got it almost to midfield. And then I don't know if they felt the pressure or maybe the Jets D was just that good on that drive, but they couldn't do anything after that. There were 4 straight downs in a row, and then the game was over, and the Jets won. And you could see in the stands, there wasn't many of the Jet fans there, but the ones that were going bananas. So now they were the only team left with 0 wins. Now they're on the board. They're still awful. I'm pretty sure they'll still lose this week. But yeah, a lot of crazy games this weekend. Did you get to watch any football on Sunday, guys?
Yes.
What do we got? Anything good that stuck out to you?
No, well, the Cowboys sucked again. Right back to normal, but
Well, okay, so I watched that game because Bo Nix is my quarterback, and it was a favorable matchup. So I watched the entirety of that game.
He had a pretty good game, right?
He had a really good game, thankfully, and so did Troy Franklin, who I picked off the waiver wire to give me a big W in fantasy. Speaking of fantasy, are you still winless in fantasy, or did you win one?
No, I've won 2 weeks in a row now.
Oh boy!
Yes, sir.
Oh, you might be like the Jets. You got to call it a comeback. Look at you. Your what is it? A minus team or A team?
Hey.
Your A at the draft is now starting to come through.
Yeah.
I hope I don't play you this week.
I beat Schmedium for my first win.
Oh, that's an easy one.
And then I beat, I think it was Ashley this week. And I had the highest score in the league.
Really? What'd you put up?
166.
Oh, that's a girthy score. Very girthy. A lot of bad football this week, but yeah, the Cowboys didn't impress nobody, which was a little disappointing because I had Pickens, Javonte Williams on one side that I needed to do good.
And neither one did anything.
No, they did. Williams did all right. Pickens okay too. Pickens didn't get a touchdown. I needed a touchdown from him. I think Williams got a touchdown. I think he had like 19 points, which I'll take every day of the week from a running back. But then I had Bo Nix and Troy Franklin, who gave me like almost 70 points.
Wow.
So yeah, and they were all on my same roster. So between that game was huge for me, and I was hoping to see like the Broncos did their half. 44 by them, great. I would have loved to see like a 44-42 or 45-44 so that, get a couple extra guys in the mix.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Prescott didn't look as good as he's been looking all year, so that didn't help.
No, and also too, the defense for your guys is just, it's great for the fantasy aspect of things.
Yeah, and that was a big game because if they found a way to win that, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe they have a bye this week, and then the following week I think they play Atlanta. So if they could have won those 2 games, then come free agency, and if all this talk is true that they're going to make some moves on defense, then, anything could have been possible.
Yeah, no, I mean, they would have sat, if they won this past week, they would have been sitting pretty in the playoff hunt at the very least. You know what I mean?
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And they actually play this week against the Cardinals on Monday Night Football.
That's what it is.
And I think the next week they have the bye. I think it's week 10 that they have the bye.
That's what I meant, the Cardinals, right? So if they could have won these 2 games, things would have been. Then you had the trade deadline. It could have been really nice, but.
And apparently there's something going on with what's the guy's name? Diggs? Is it Trevor Diggs or Trayvon
Diggs?
Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
Apparently he's not happy with something.
Yeah, hopefully they trade his ass away.
Yeah?
He's useless anyways.
Oh, he's not going. Wasn't he a good defensive player?
He was good his rookie year and has sucked ever since.
Oh, okay. I guess you feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really know how well he was playing. Yeah.
I would take his ass in one of those nice, good early round picks and trade him for Trey Hendrickson, but although he got banged up too, so I don't even know what his status is.
Oh, for the Bengals?
Yeah.
Yeah, he that was his first game back too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not looking good for him either. And I think now it sucks. He's just gonna have to wait it out and play or don't play or whatever. The good news I think for the Cowboys is they're only 3-4-1. So if they win Monday, they'll be dead even.
Yeah.
At 4-4-1, which that tiebreaker might help them if teams do bad enough. They'll jump over them because right now it's the same thing with the Packers. The Packers are 5-1-1. So if you're 6-2 and you're 5-1-1, you got the better win percentage. So maybe that'll be a way that they could sneak in there towards the end.
We'll see. We'll see. It all depends what they do at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean the good news for the Cowboys is their offense is so potent.
Right. They just need to get some help on, and they got guys coming back. Overshaw's coming back soon. Hopefully, in the next week or two. So, and they got a couple other guys coming back. So hopefully they make a couple of moves, and who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it could only help them. I hope Jerry Jones sees the light a little bit and actually gives you guys a little something to be happy with, because this time last year they were even worse. So
Yeah, I mean, they make a couple of moves, and they get these guys coming back and are able to play halfway decent, even if they finish the second half of the season with a 15th ranked defense for the second half of the season with their offense.
yeah,
They can do some damage.
they score a lot, dude. Especially when Dak Prescott is on, which, like you said, sadly enough, this game he wasn't. But the Broncos have a good D. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes,
that's
they
the
do.
problem. I don't know like their whole schedule, but if he has a favorable second half schedule, they could do it, because there's a lot of like mediocrity right now in football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think their schedule is so great the rest of the way. I think they got some
Tough games.
yeah. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
That we will. I don't know. Did you guys see the Sunday night football game with the Packers and the Steelers?
No, what happened there?
That was actually a pretty good game for most of it. It was pretty much all Green Bay.
Oh, right, if they're 5-1-1.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers hung around. Like, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers with them, and he did the best he could. Their defense. So apparently they spent like $180 million on the Steelers defense, and their defense is like one of the worst in the league. So you could kind of blame that game on the defense, and which is weird because you still have T.J. Watt there. I don't know, like they got to love a little bit, but not nearly enough, and they just kind of like coast to the victory, in my opinion. Like, I was watching that entire game from the couch, and I was just like, oh, and Rodgers was trying to do everything he could to get him back in the game, and he kept it close, but he was always like a touchdown off, meaning like, he'd score, and then they were down 7, but then the Packers would score again, then he'd score again. It was always like 7 off, 6 or 7 off, and then they ran out of time, and then that was it. It was just that simple. Like, Green Bay came to play. That was another revenge game for Aaron Rodgers. He did not get to win that game. And it was weird. I saw something before that game that he wants to come back to Green Bay and retire a Packer.
Yeah, but that's probably just one of those sign a 1-day contract to.
No, I totally understand
Oh.
that. But, like, why would you say that now, like, a day or two before you're playing the Packers? And then on top of that, you're still playing at a decently high level. Like, it's not like the Steelers
because
are bad.
I mean, I did see somewhere where he's saying this is his last year.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. But even still, like,
Yeah, I think it was actually the same article where they talked about that. It said where he's talked about this being his last season.
oh, okay. I'm just wondering why, after he got traded away to the Jets for Jordan Love, why he'd want to go back there and retire as a Packer. Maybe just because of legacy, because things haven't been working out for him.
Yeah, and he is who he is because of his time on the Packers. That's it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I mean, the teams that were supposed to win, the only real one that I thought was a game, well, actually there was 2. The Dolphins-Falcon game was weird to me. I don't know if you saw highlights of that or anything like that, but I didn't pick the Dolphins to beat the Falcons, and Bijan Robinson was supposed to have a monster game
And did nothing.
and literally the Dolphins smoked the Falcons 34-10. And I didn't really watch that game. It was one of those 1:00 games, so I was all about watching the Jets. And not for nothing, that Jet game was probably the most competitive game of the week. You know what I mean? They were going back and forth for the most part. There was a little lull in like the end of the second quarter to the beginning of the third, but besides that, like, they were going back and forth, scoring back and forth.
Yeah.
It was almost like the Giant Denver game the week before. Slightly more scoring, but that's why I wasn't paying attention to these 2 games. And even the other game was Bears-Ravens. You still had no Lamar Jackson, but what's the guy's name? Was it Hutley or something like that? He was the backup quarterback for the Ravens. He's back on their team. And they beat the Bears 30-16.
Well, I think the Bears are. They had a couple of decent games and everybody was getting all excited about them, but
Right.
I don't buy it.
And I won't buy it until they're actually winning ball games, because every time I pick them to win a game, especially this game, like, all right, no, if Lamar Jackson was playing, I would want Ravens all day, because once he's in the game, they're a different team. And it speaks to how much he is a real MVP. You know what I mean? But he wasn't playing. And the Bears still sucked. You know? It was unbelievable, dude. Ugh. Unreal. And then, nothing else surprised me for the most part. Oh, maybe the Texans 49ers, 26-15. But
yeah, I mean, prior to the games, I saw a lot of people online saying that they were going with the Texans.
I saw that too, and I found that hard to believe. But apparently, they have the actual best defense.
Yeah, they have
in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Point wise, like I think they only give up 10 points a game, per game, like 10.6 or something like that. So they're the best defensive, ranked best defensive right now, and the Bills are second with 13 points per game. So after I saw that, but the way the 49ers have just been dealing with the injuries, and still winning, they're just gonna rock and roll, and I'm picking them again this week. They're playing the Giants on the road, and Brock Purdy might be back, he might not, but that's another game I think that they should win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as long as McCaffrey's healthy, then you got a shot.
Yeah, 100%. And they're slowly getting their guys back little by little. They got Kittle back, so Juwan Jennings was back. They still don't have no Rick Purcell yet or Brock Purdy, but I don't know what's going on with them. But Brock Purdy is questionable as of right now, so he should come back for Sunday's game. But yeah, cool week of NFL football. Looking forward to this Sunday. I wish I could drink some beers or whatever, but I cannot. But at least there's still football to watch all day on Sunday. But yeah, well, I guess we'll see where the football goes this week. It's interesting. This is a big week for buys as well. So there's a lot of scrambling. I don't know if you had to deal with it, but I had to deal with it bad this week. Scrambling for fantasy.
I dealt with it. I think it wasn't this week. It was last week.
Yeah, I dealt with it both weeks, but this was my heavier week. Like I woke up this morning and looked at my team, and I'm like, I'm only scoring 90 points. I'm like, oh wait, I have a quarterback out, a kicker, defense, and on other teams I have a couple guys out. In our league, my team is decimated. Like I've lost the last 2 games. I was number 1, and I was 5-1, and I lost Bucky Irving, Omari Hampton. Now, I don't know that I keep mispronouncing his name wrong, but the Bucks rookie wide receiver, he's on a bye. Mm-hmm. Like I'm picking up scraps just to try and make ends meet.
Put a lineup together.
Yeah, and it's not working out. I might lose again this week. I'll be 5-4, and I was at the top. Yeah. I need these guys to come back.
Still wide open.
No, 100%, dude. And I was looking into some of these injuries, and they're not coming back to like week 11. I still got 2 more weeks. I might be 5-5.
Well, you know how it goes. Once they get put on the IR, it's 4 weeks right there.
Yeah. Like, I'm losing it. And Calvin Ridley has been a bust, and he's out hurt. Like, I'm picking up, like, third-string wide receivers just to, like, hoping on a prayer that they give me, like, 10 to 15 points. And I could, like, sneak out a win. Don't you miss it so much?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It's a ton of fun. I'm depriving myself.
You are. You really are. Like, studying. And I feel like I'm back in high school.
It's all work. Dude.
Yeah, I feel like I'm back in high school. Every morning I wake up, the first thing I do is, let me see who I can pick up on the waiver wire. Who are they talking about today? And then you get notifications from Yahoo. I don't know. Are you on a Yahoo site? Mm-hmm. I should have never said yes to notifications. Every 30 minutes I get some other article by some bum that says pick up somebody. And I'm like, oh, God. You have to be half smart to do this because they'll give you names all day long. Like, yeah, pick this guy up. His target share is through the roof and he's playing 95% of snaps. And then you get
Gets you
nothing.
2 points.
Yeah, nothing. I got nothing from Quentin Johnson last week, which was one of the things that killed me. But yeah, absolutely dog shit. I understand why you got away from it. I'll tell you that much right now. But yeah, that's all I got. So now let's get into the TV stuff. Wander, lead us off because I've been talking too much. I need a break.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a ton this week. I'm current with The Lowdown, I think it's called.
Okay, the Ethan Hawke show.
Yeah, I think there's like 2 episodes left of that. What else? Is there anything else that's still on that I'm watching?
Did you finish Gen V? Gen V?
Oh yeah, thank you. I finished Gen V. I gotta be honest. Towards the end of the season, it wasn't as good. It definitely fizzled out. Like, obviously, I mean, are we doing spoilers or?
Yeah, dude, might as well save someone some headache.
That guy who's the dean.
Yeah.
He was like, he's a great actor, but like once he was like kind of like out of the picture, like it was like, oh, it's this other guy, and yeah, I don't know. The ending just I kind of lost steam. I felt like, yeah. I mean, early on I was interested, and then by the end I was just like kind of just like getting through the episodes.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just didn't find it that interesting.
That's the same way I felt with the show.
Right.
That's
and,
why I asked.
I think that's why. And I remember last week you mentioned you like the first season better, and and now I can definitely see why, and I would completely agree. Did I watch anything else? Oh, I watched. What was that? Weapons.
The movie?
Yeah.
How was that?
Very good.
Yeah, it was good. Going into it, I saw that it has it's 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
And I had heard it's good, so I definitely liked it. I kind of thought like something that happened at the end. I kind of thought it was like more funny than scary. I thought the little kid in it was great. I would have liked more like, I guess, background or like maybe like I guess more background or like explanations, but I guess that's just how I am with everything. But it's definitely decent. So.
Is it overly scary? Like
No.
I didn't think so.
No. So a little to piggyback off you, I haven't seen it, so hopefully I get to see it.
It was on HBO. I think last Saturday.
Oh, so it's on HBO. It should be on HBO Max.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think I actually saw it there, as a matter of fact. So I'll get to watching it because I was interested in it too. But they're supposedly coming out with a prequel to that, which might answer your questions.
Go. That might be what I'm looking for.
Yeah, so you might like. I guess if and when that comes out, there's some woman in there, like some older woman with glasses.
Yeah, it's about her.
It's about her a little bit. So maybe you'll get like the background of the characters a little bit more in that one.
And I did forget, I started the new season of, oh boy, the name just escaped me for a minute. It's the Gary Oldman show on Apple.
Something horses?
Yes, Slow Horses, thank you. Nice pull. Yes, I started the new season of that. It's a good show.
What's that show about? Because I see it pop up on, it's Apple Plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's...
They're like, I guess they're like, an undercover agency, but they're kind of like, they're all like messed up. They all have their own flaws and problems. But, so yeah, I guess it's like, sort of like a, I guess, police show similar to that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Gary Oldman he's great in everything.
Yeah, good actor for sure. What do you got? Anything?
I watched, I don't know if you had brought it up a couple of weeks ago, Task.
Oh yeah, Task is great.
Very good.
Did you finish it? Did you do what you did with Black Rabbit with this one? Oh, we got to talk about that too, by the way.
Yeah, no, I finished.
You finished it?
Very good.
I'm halfway through that right now. I've been watching that the last couple of days. So far so good. I think I'm 3 episodes in, so I got 4 more left. So it's really good. I mean, the actors in it are really good.
Yeah,
great cast for sure.
Yes, awesome. So it started off a little slow, but I get it because it's one of those cop thrillers, like, whatever. So it's starting to come along. and I can't wait to actually watch some of it tonight. But the Black Rabbit, went right through that as well. That was a great show.
Fantastic.
Oh, and the end, we touched upon it. We wanted to get some of your input on it, but we like the fact that Jason Bateman was like a total screw up in this show, as opposed to just being overly funny, and like he was like, even in Ozark, he was not a fuck up. You know what I mean? He was just in like a bad situation, and he was just like trying to get out of it. Whereas this one, he was just a total mess.
Right. You felt for him because he was just fucked up from childhood, right?
Yeah, and like the little
was someone that he didn't really want to be.
Right. And the little Easter eggs that you got towards the end, I think it might have been, what was it, 8 episodes? I think it might have been episode 7 with the gangster that he owed the money to. That was crazy. Like, I don't want to, everyone should have watched it already, but we'll wait a little bit longer. But very well done. It's a shame that it's only one season. It's a one and done type of thing, because that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they gave you that point, and then especially with his appearance, where they made you question, was he the gangster's son?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Right.
Yeah. Because, that's a really good point, actually. And you'll never know, obviously.
Right.
But I didn't even think of that. Mm-hmm. Wow. But, good show either which way. I watched, and you guys, I know you guys don't watch documentaries as much as I do now.
I like documentaries.
The Who Killed the Montreal Expos just came out on Netflix.
Okay.
And like I said, I touched upon it earlier. It's a lot of back and forth with the subtitles. So I wound up watching it like yesterday afternoon when I was more awake. But very good. They give you like the whole story of how the Expos collapsed and what I guess really happened. They still place blame on both sides. Like they blamed, the strike, but then they didn't wind up collapsing until like 10 years later. They blamed like the owner at one point, and it's just a lot. It's all over the place. It's a lot. I think you guys will enjoy it. I actually think now, because they put this out, remember like a month or so ago, I was telling you they need to do more of those sports documentaries, and then they give us this, right? I think that the Exos 100% will be back in baseball within the next 5-10 years. 100%. I think they're actively trying to do it right now, and that's the reason why they put this show together. I'm first on record of saying that. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, it's possible. Obviously they would have to expand again.
Right.
And then who knows with the whole realignment bullcrap that's coming up.
Well, that's what I mean. It's setting up to be that way. Like, here's the realignment, and then here's 2 new teams, because you got to have 2. And they've been talking about Nashville having a team forever. And I think the only other place is a throwback in Montreal. At least they got to give it a little bit of time, because I think they need a new stadium. That was another one of the things that kind of hurt the Expos as well. They had an old Olympic stadium that was just like collapsing.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. But yeah, I also didn't watch much either, because I was just watching sports all weekend, and I think that's pretty much all I got. I had a bunch last week.
I was going to say that might have been the least amount that you've ever.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get to watch a lot of stuff this last week.
No movies, huh?
No other movies.
I mean, the documentaries.
Yeah, I didn't watch any movies that weren't already that we already didn't have talked about per se. I've been trying to look for stuff. I know The Witcher's coming out soon at the beginning of November. With the new, it's no longer Henry Cavill, it's Liam Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth's brother. He's doing the next season, so that comes out
of what show?
Of The Witcher.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched it, but it's like was it a video game?
Yeah, it was a video game.
Yeah, pretty cool show. but yeah, that's coming out, and I'm halfway through the new season of what is it? Only Murders in a Building.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. So you watched some, watching a few things.
Yeah, I just literally started that like 2 days ago. I watched a couple episodes last night. It's okay. It's you know, I don't see how it could go much longer than this season, to be honest with you, because how many times are people gonna get murdered in this damn building? Like, let's be honest. But they got a little bit of a different spin on this one, so I want to see where it goes. But I think this should be it for them. Like they ran their 5 seasons. Like, you're good.
And they had to have blown through their budget with the cast that they had this season.
So you saw the cast. There's a lot of famous people in there. Yeah, and you know when that happens, the show is about to go, because if you have to add more famous people into a show, that means you're not doing as well. At least the last season didn't do as well.
They're doing that well that they can.
They could afford it. Yeah, I guess it could go either way. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me right now. I still got a whole list of stuff to watch. I still got to watch your Institute show too. What's that on?
That was good. Oh boy, MGM, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Good.
MGM has a new show coming out. I think this Sunday, a new Robin Hood, and it's supposed to. My friend, he works for. He's a producer for them.
Really?
He said it's supposed to be pretty good.
Really?
So, yeah, if they, you might be interested.
I'll definitely check it out. And that's on MGM Plus, or just like the regular channel.
Just the channel. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out. And you now reminded me that new It show is on. It just started last week.
Oh, is that on HBO?
Yeah.
It started Sunday?
It started this past Sunday.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Welcome to Derry.
Yes.
Right?
And I just tried.
Did you watch it?
No, I tried watching it, and then something happened with HBO where you couldn't like sign on to it or whatever.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you're telling me you're not gonna wait till
No.
it's all come out? You
No.
watch it week by
I might watch it week by week. Well, we tried that with the aliens, and then somebody didn't follow through with watching the aliens. I'm not going to mention any names, but he didn't follow through. So,
Well, I mean, Halloween is this weekend too, so it's pretty appropriate.
Right. I'll throw it out there. I'll watch at least the first 2 episodes and give you my take on it, and then we'll see where it goes from there if people want to still watch it. But the remakes of those movies were really good.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I think I saw the first one in the theater, but I don't think I watched the second part. How the second part is good?
Yeah, it's almost like the same shit. It's you know what I mean. It's just a continuation.
Right,
You definitely have to watch that first.
I'll have to finish that.
Probably should. I mean,
I remember when it was the TV one years from the early '90s. That one was pretty good.
yeah, I've never seen that. I was too
Tim
young.
Curry was
Yeah, it was it.
Pennywise.
Yeah, but I never saw that. I've seen the pictures and like some old trailers of that. I never saw it.
It was pretty good for pretty scary for network television.
Yeah, which is why they probably did this, and then now they're doing the show, and the show takes place like I guess a while back, so that's
prior to the
prior to all this stuff, so that's good. But yeah, let's try and watch that. I'll agree to watch every week. So we're 2 behind, at least me and you. We'll be 2 behind by this weekend. I think it comes out on Sundays as well.
Yeah.
So you have a couple days to watch the first one.
Okay.
And then you have a couple days to watch the second one.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm not even going to mention that to somebody else in the room, but if he watches it, great. If not, we'll see what happens. He's a busy man, so we'll try and get him on board. But yeah, that's all I got. So take it away.
Yeah, we got one music selection as usual. This week we're going with Al Michaels Affair, 24 Hour Sports. That's the pick for this week.
Excellent. All right, folks. That's another one in the books. We'll see you next week.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy
Enjoy.
Halloween.